I am Kate Russell, gamer and tech reporter for the UK, and now I'm in charge of your ship's systems and controls, which, if you've ever seen my Twitch stream, should make you very nervous indeed.
All the fueling's done. Plot route to bookmark 2.
Displaying map. Course locked. Stand by.
Crew command roster.
Speed until clear of the station perimeter.
Rotate the watch.
Reminder, you have a limpet controller but are not carrying any limpets.
Hi, welcome to the stream.
You have cleared the no-fire zone. Flight control
Aye, aye, Commander. Affirmative, Commander. On it, Lord.
Destination confirmed. Grey's concubine is in transit to the new system. This is your third visit to this system. Pillaroo is an independent democracy with a population of well over 4 million souls, aligned to the sheer winters.
Frameshift.
Alpha Zulu Golf Hotel Alpha Romeo India Echo is the local faction. There are 2 orbital stations and 2 planetary stations in this system.
Scanning now.
Grey's concubine's fuel tanks are
Temperatures
now at
are
84%
acceptable
capacity.
level.
Information. The Pillaroo General Industry faction is recovering after a head-in election with the hit 28,774 ink faction for control of 6 in ring. The Tango Hotel Echo Alpha Zulu Golf Hotel Alpha Romeo India Echo is undergoing a boom.
Engage FST.
Charging frameshift drive.
Thank you. I said, thank you.
Force adjustment.
Just
Equipped to a smooth
Grey's concubine is on
light
alert to Charlie
adjustment
Romeo
focus.
Victor Thor 259 per system. You are entering Federation space. Golf Charlie Romeo Victor Thor 259 is a
Space
Federation
velocity
destination of
confirmed.
23,500
Arrival in.
Golf Charlie Romeo Victor Thor 259 Limited is the immediate power. There is 1 orbital station
Scanning
and a
for
single planetary
information.
station in this system. Grey's concubine's fuel reserves now at 65%. Information. The Golf Charlie Romeo Victor Thor 259
Here's the mining base.
and the Escuadron Sentinelas is gearing up to expand to another system. 0 out of 15 bodies has been scanned.
Engage FST.
frameshift drive engaged.
Telemetry obtained. Grey's concubine is en route to the Garabru system. You are leaving Federation space. Garabru is an independent corporate with a population of well over 7.5 billion people. Elite Space Corporation would be an immediate path. There are several orbital stations and 2 planetary stations in the system.
Completing system scan for cartography.
Information. The Elite Space Corporation is enjoying a period of heightened civil liberty. 51 bodies remain to be scanned.
Sure, I scanned them. Yeah, I did. Pardon me. I'm also pretty sure this doesn't have lazy mode involved. Engaged. No. Six-second rule applied. I usually do it at 7 just to be safe. Coming to Crackman Hub on the other side of the planet.
Grey's concubine has entered normal space close to Orbis starboard. Crackman Hub.
Peter Meyer, Foxtrot, Bravo, Golf. Please follow docking procedures, Commander, and enjoy your stay. Landing permission refused. Resubmit within range.
You already did that.
Landing pad 9 is at 8 appropriate as you enter with the green lights on your right.
Landing pad 9 is going to be close to the front. Wrong way, go back. Usually pays to watch the screen when you're docking.
1,000 meters from touchdown.
Docking complete.
Okay, clumsy but there.
Landing completed. Deactivating docking systems. Enjoy your stay at our facility, Commander.
Now, what am I going to use today?
Reminder, you have a limpet controller but are not carrying any limpets.
We extend a warm welcome to new arrivals at this facility and wish a safe journey to all departures.
Plot route to bookmark 3.
What? Hey, now.
Come on, Data, you can do it. Thank you.
Storing Grey's concubine and swapping to Grey's ghost. Docking clamps free.
Setting course. Leaving now.
Commence pre-flight checklist, Commander. Scheduling departure now.
Alright. Hold on to your safety belts. And away we go. Engage FSD. Alright, fine, I'll do it myself.
You've now exceeded the no-fire zone. We hope you have a safe journey.
Now, I don't know how it gets confused with between engage FSD and lower landing gear. It makes no sense to me, but occasionally that's voice attack for you.
Telemetry obtained. Grey's ghost is en route to the Timokini system. This is your fourth visit to this system. Timokini is an independent people supporting over 74,500 souls belonging to Persia Winters. Leaders of Timokini is the immediate power. There are 2 orbital stations and a lone planetary station in this system. Information. The Timokini Gold Vision
Engage
Limited
FSD.
faction is ahead in a war with the Earls of Arabasai faction for control of Jalov settlement. The leaders of Timokini is undergoing a coup.
Frameshift drive charging.
Frameshift
14
drive
bodies remain to be
engaging.
scanned. Maximum fuel. Destination confirmed. Grey's ghost is heading to the Lima Hotel Sierra 1955 system. You have visited this system 5 times. There is no human presence here.
Go and grab the cargo cutter and do some cargo running, I think.
Scanning for information.
Grey's ghost is now
Engage
fully
FSD.
refueled. 0 out of 2 bodies has been scanned.
Frameshift drive
Charging frameshift drive.
Thank you.
You are very welcome. Adjusting for jump. Interstellar travel mode. Engaging now.
Destination confirmed. Grey's ghost is in transit to the Shinrata Desper system. Shinrata Desmo is an independent democracy home to over 85 million people. Its Federation local branch is the American Hub. There is a single space station and 4 planetary stations in this system. Information. The future of Aromaga is undergoing a boom. Grey's Ghost's fuel reserves at 90% capacity. 39 bodies remain to be scanned.
Three-quarter impulse.
Three-quarter impulse. Engaging.
How you doing, Commander Wooden? All is good. Yesterday was incredibly busy, so I didn't get online like I wanted to. Played a little bit of Satisfactory at stupid o'clock this morning. How's things yourself? Well done. Takes some effort to get that done.
Grey's Ghost has left Super Prisoner of his starport, Jason Memorial.
Yeah, funnily enough, I tried that the other day, but the only other game I can play apart from this is Satisfactory. And with that, I had to start again, because it felt wrong going back into my save game. Oh, that's right.
Permission authorized. Please head directly for Bay 4-5.
They're not happy with me because I got caught speeding and running into people when I left the station.
5 o'clock up as you enter with the green lights on your right.
Landing pad 45. Landing gear.
1,000 meters from touchdown.
Alright, don't then.
Attention, no visual on landing gear.
Yeah, well, I did tell the co-pilot to put it down, but he forgot. He still hasn't done it. Oh, finally. Data, you're sacked.
Down and locked.
Ship is on the ground. Engaging docking restraints. Greetings, Commander.
Yeah, or the cutter. If I'd boosted out of the slot with the cutter, whatever I hit would have bounced into the slot and that would have been it.
Refueled.
Yeah, okay. Look, 100 credit fine. Just take it out of the bank. Set up a direct debit. I'll pay 1,000 credits a month.
Paid fine of 100 credits.
Shit, I'd pay 10,000 credits a month. I don't care. Cover the little fines. It's only the big ones you got to worry about.
Ensure you have received authorization before entering the docking bay. If you don't have access permission, please exit the facility immediately.
Oh dear. think that, oh, that is my shieldless cargo. Yes. Use this ship. Now the ID tag on all of my cutters is FBG and a number. Because at the time when I bought my first one I was listening to Queen.
Storing Grey's Ghost and swapping to Grey's Harlot.
Yeah, military's useless to me. I want these ones. Actually, no, that'll be enough. Class 4. Yeah, 40 light years should be plenty. I don't have any fuel scoops. Alright, shields are gone because they're kind of pointless. Which should also mean... Yeah, can I go 5A and still have enough? Yes, I can. Heat efficiency. Point 4 anyway. Let's try this again. Talk about strip back for cargo running. Make sure I've got nothing in there. No, we're all good. Now let's have a look and see where Operation Ida is today. Alright, hip 12155, Chaviano Dock. Okay, and it looks like I'm going for Caparagway. Let's have a look on EDDB. Come on. Computer, be nice. Okay. So, not that far away. What do I want? Navigation. Galaxy map. Search for...
Exiting
Yeah.
map.
Oh, I hate it when it does that. Let's try again. I don't want land-based. Alright. Alright. That could be... Bookmark. Hopefully this works today. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I need to change that one to HIP 12155. Can't view the galaxy map on that one, so we'll bookmark the system for now. And then get rid of that one. I deleted the wrong one. Oops. Plot route to bookmark 4.
Displaying map. Course locked. Exiting map.
I'll be back in a sec, I've just got a phone call.
Docking cramps briefed.
Landing restraints lifted. Maintain correct lane on exit.
Roger that, Commander. You are go for VTO.
Clear of the station. We hope to see you again, Commander.
On. You're very welcome. You're welcome, Commander.
Sorry about that. My son rang. He's currently doing a course for a mechanic's apprenticeship and he just needed someone to chat to about the crap that he's doing at the moment.
Telemetry obtained.
He said we're going over stuff that I've already done at work, so it's boring. And I said, yeah, but you need to know the theory behind it, not just the practice, mate.
Lima Hotel Sierra 2166 is a Federation corporate with a population of just over 227,000 souls, allied with the Geominters. Miniteman is the controlling faction.
Yeah, with regards to gaming, I've always thought real life always comes first.
Cartography update complete.
Unfortunately, it does cause interruptions from time to time because of that.
LHS 2166 Democrats faction is tied in an election with the Progressive Party of LHS 2166 faction for control of Slow Grove stores.
Disengaged.
Brown dwarf Charlie is notable with an unusually low solar radius at 0.22 times sols and an unusually high average density. Eight bodies remain to be scanned.
You got a similar problem to what I do. I've been told it's because I don't have enough RAM.
Frameshift drive charging.
But then I'm only running with 8 gigs, so it's not surprising that I don't have enough RAM. Darling daughter, your quadrupedal son is at the door.
Destination confirmed. Grace Holland is heading to the Runner system. This is your first visit to this system. Runner is a Federation corporate of around 17.5 billion people, aligned to Zachary Hudson. Earth Defense Fleet is the controlling power.
Completing system scan, standby, gathering information. Cartography has now been updated.
My daughter's cat is trying to redefine narcissism to mean it's all about him. Regardless of who's narcissistic, it's just him. I stepped outside while I was on the phone. I usually do, just because I like to walk around while I'm talking to people.
Frameshift drive charging.
Anyway, sorry, my daughter was talking. Yeah, so I went outside, I came inside, I asked him if he'd like to come in. As soon as I sat down, started playing the game again, he starts knocking on the front door to come in.
Leaving system. So long, Spurs.
Destination confirmed.
He's an extremely affectionate cat when he wants
This is your
affection.
first visit to this system. Ikenna is a Federation corporate with a population of
No. His big issue now is that it's coming up to the time when usually he has his lunch/dinner. Yeah, there's about 40 minutes to go, so he's going to hassle me and my daughter for the next 40 minutes until we go and feed him. The issue is, if we feed him now, come 4 o'clock, because it's about 20 past 1 at the moment, but if we feed him now, at 4 o'clock, he'll want more.
Frameshift drive charging.
He's looking at me and then noticed I had the keyboard on my lap and has decided that his nether regions need a lick.
Jump in progress.
Yeah.
Grace Holland is en route to the Piscean sector.
Now, if it was my wife's cat, he likes to sit on my lap while I'm playing Elite Dangerous because he knows I won't move much.
This is your first visit to this system. Humans have yet to
But he's asleep somewhere else. Oh, he's curled up on his, well, in a basket that's just a little bit too small for him.
Scanning now.
So his feet are hanging out.
Frameshift drive charging.
Alright, here's our destination.
Leaving system. So long, Spurs.
Telemetry obtained. Grace Holland is en route to the Keferatwa system. You are now in Federation space. This is your first visit to this system.
Affirmative.
Keferatwa is a Federation democracy home to over 6 billion people, controlled by Leon Wei. Keferatwa Liberals is the immediate power. There are 9 orbital stations and 4 planetary stations in the system.
Scanning.
Information. The purple natural and co-faction is recovering after dominating a war with the Keparagwe Defense Force faction for control of White Forest
Lights
Hospital.
off.
Yeah, we don't have pets, we have four-legged people. No, they are members of the family despite their protestations to the contrary. Have kids when meme comes out, stops being used. I like it. Don't get the claws out just because I'm not feeding you. You can wait. All you got to remember about kids is they're our parents' revenge on us for what we did to them.
Entered normal space near Orbis Starport, Carson Terminal.
Kudamaya, Foxtrot Bravo Golf. The Federation welcomes you, Commander. We'd be happy to serve you at this port.
Landing pad 24 is at 12 o'clock NIC as you enter with the green lights on your right.
Meters from touchdown.
Scan detected. Hull integrity compromised.
Caution, structural integrity is at 77%.
Authorization cleared. Proceed to landing pad 2-4. You are
Lazy
go
mode
for automated
enabled.
docking. Enjoy the ride, Commander.
Docking complete.
Solid contact. Securing ship. Station facilities are at your disposal, Commander.
Fuel at maximum. Gray's Harlot repaired.
Indium's what we want.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
I think they're a little small. Oh well, looks like they're running shieldless. But I will get one of these.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
Plot route to bookmark 9.
Detach is good. Regulate speed until outside the exclusion zone.
Please don't run into the mail slot today. I asked nicely.
Taking damage.
Displaying map.
Re-established. Caution, hull of 77%.
Plot route to bookmark 9.
Displaying map. Locking target and setting course.
Okay, with regards to PvP, the only advantage with A-rated sensors is that
Leaving
you can
map.
see your opponent a little bit further away. So if you're using long-range weapons, it might help you keep track of them.
Roger, Commander. You are clear to leave when ready.
I have heard a lot of people say D-rated on sensors regardless, simply because they are much lighter, especially as you get into the bigger ships. And lighter means more maneuverable on the vehicle that you're or on the ship that you're flying. So, yeah, A-rated. Some people swear by them, but then they engineer them so that they've got a narrower focus anyway, so that they're either faster scanning or longer range. Faster scanning or longer range.
Frameshift drive charging.
Clear of the exclusion zone. Have a safe trip, Commander.
Vectors.
Jump in progress.
I mean, myself for combat, I like using the Corvette
System.
because
Federation space.
I can kill lots
This
of
is your
things
first
before I
visit to
blow
the
up.
system. This system is not populated. Grey's Holland's fuel reserves are now at 80% capacity.
The other thing is,
Scanning
A-rated
now.
modules have higher integrity than D-rated, so they're less likely to blow up in combat.
11 bodies remain to be scanned in this system.
Engage FSD.
Engaging drive.
Drive charging.
It's also worth it if you've got a spot to chuck in a module reinforcement as well as your hull reinforcements.
Destination confirmed. Grey's Holland is traveling to the HIP 12155 system. You are entering independent space. This is your first visit to this system. HIP 12155 is an independent anarchy supporting well over 2 million souls. HIP
Depends how good you are with
12155
fixed
is a local.
weapons.
There is just one orbital station and
In
two
all
transit
honesty.
stations in this system.
Scanning for information.
Myself, I hate them.
0 out of 10 bodies has been scanned.
$21,000 light seconds. Oh well. Yeah, so it's definitely worth getting a module reinforcement if you're creating a combat ship, because it reduces the damage taken by modules. can be worth getting a kill warrant scanner if you've got a free slot for it, simply because you'll get more bounties for each ship that's wanted. If you're just doing PvE, a chaff launcher is worth investing in. If you're doing PvP, most of the time it's not, because most PvPers like to use fixed weapons. It may also be worth getting a point defense system to take out missiles and or torpedoes. Though torpedoes are slow enough that with an FDO you could probably outrun them anyway. Get far enough away, flip FA off, turn around and shoot torpedo down. If you're quick, you can do the same thing with the missiles. Unless they're packhounds. Packhounds are scary. That's fair enough. Oh, definitely. Yeah, particle accelerators and railguns, very easy to overheat and blow up if you're not careful what you're doing. Also, if you're using shield cell banks, make sure you have at least one heatsink per shield cell bank. Because as soon as you activate them, you basically overheat otherwise. Yeah, so you definitely need the two sets of heat sinks. Just remember that he who passes second becomes first. Well, actually, I don't. They become second. Common misconception: if you're in a running race and you're currently in third and you pass the guy going second, does that make you first? No, it makes you second. Well, to go from second to first, you have to pass the guy going first and make him go second. So if you want to go from third to first, you've got to pass the guy that's going second and the one that's going first. So if you're third in a race and pass the guy going second, which position are you in? Second place. Because there's still that one in front of you. Yeah, it's one that one of my teachers used to throw at us every so often, and yeah, it clicked after the first time with me, but I still say it every so often because he used to do the same spiel. Whoever passes second comes first. Oh wait, hang on a minute.
Left Super Cruise near Orbis Starport, Shaviano Dock.
Gutamaya, Foxtrot, Bravo, Golf. Welcome to the station, Commander. Commence with docking procedures.
Landing pad 32 is at 2 o'clock noon as you enter with the green lights on your right.
There's a explosion of some sort and see what sort of damage has been done to it. I can still see the Thargoid acid all over it. See, looking at that set of marks right in front of me, I sometimes wonder if it is Thargoids. Because that looks like claw marks. I reckon we've got space werewolves.
From touchdown.
Oh, I know they say it's Thargoids, but I sometimes wonder if it's also human pilots in hybrid Thargoid ships.
Maintain current vector, Commander.
Landing pad 3-2.
Warning, proximity alert.
Yeah, well, I'm going less than 100, so they got to watch out for me because I'm bigger than everybody else, unless it's a beluga.
Attention, Commander. You have not deployed landing gear.
Yes, I have.
Docking complete.
Touchdown. Ground crew dispatched. Station facilities are at your disposal.
Maximum fuel.
How did I end up with polymers when I bought indium? Someone was ripping me off. Oh well. Plot route to bookmark 4.
Displaying map. Course locked. Closing map.
Ship is released. Take care when leaving the station.
Now the big issue with getting the close landing pads when doing Operation Ida is all this construction going on around the mail slot.
Disengaged from local networks.
Landing gear retracted. Taking damage.
Warning, hull at 49%.
Clear the area and jump.
Frameshift drive.
You are now clear of
Welcome to
station
the stream.
perimeter. Safe travels, Commander.
Preparing for jump.
Jump in progress. Gray's Harnett is en route to the Crimpo system. This is your first visit to this system. Crimpo is new
15 minutes till dinner time, the cat's getting antsy.
37,500 souls allied with Lee Longray. The Wild Bunch is the controlling power.
Oh,
There are
no.
two orbital stations.
Now he's gone to my daughter and he's going to start pretending that he likes her.
Gray's Harnett
It's
secure
like,
reserves
oh, you're
now
going to
at 85%
feed me.
capacity. Information. The Wild Bunch is enjoying a period of
Scanning for
heightened civil
information.
Main sequence star Bravo is notable, with higher than average density. As you can see, it emits an orange red light.
Our lazy cat that's doing the sleeping.
Star Charlie is notable.
At the
with higher than
moment,
average density.
he can't even
As
be
you can
bothered
see,
getting
it
off his
emits an orange
butt
red
to go
light.
and get food.
5 out of 13
He
bodies
wants
have
it.
been scanned.
He just doesn't want to have to walk to get it.
Frameshift drive charging.
Telemetry obtained. Gray's Harnett is en route to the Kekaragua system. You are now in Federation space. This is your second visit to this system. Information. The Purple Natural and Co faction is
Completing
recovering
system
after
scan.
dominating a war with the Kekaragua Defense Force faction for control of White Forest Hospital. 0 out of 39 bodies has been scanned in this system.
He is such a lazy shit. He was getting annoyed because my daughter was picking him up to go and get dinner, even though he couldn't be bothered getting up himself to go and get dinner, and he wants it. Because as soon as you mention it, he looks at you as if to say, oh, you're feeding me. Oh, but then I have to move. It's no wonder he's fat. He's a fluffy beach ball with legs.
Left Super Cruise close to Orbis Starport, passing terminal.
Kudamaya, Foxtrot Bravo Golf. You're clear for approach, Commander. Submit a request and enjoy your stay.
Landing pad 25 is at 12 o'clock pop as you enter with the green lights on your right.
Yeah, I don't trust you with the auto docking. You screwed me up last time when you came out of the station. I mean, yes, I took 20% damage because of my flying. But when the computer's doing the flying for me, I expect to not get damaged. It's not like it's difficult, really, when you're paying attention. Like I nearly wasn't again. Made it this time.
Decrease speed to within safe limits, Commander.
Already done.
Access granted. Your assigned landing pad is number 25. Acknowledged, Commander.
Oh, no.
Assisted docking.
He doesn't do that. He doesn't do the lay down and I can't be bothered moving, just drag the food to me. No, he does actually show interest in the food. It's just that he can't be bothered getting off his butt to go from the lounge room to the kitchen to get it.
Landing operations.
So instead he waits there and goes,
You're all
carry
checked in,
me.
Commander. Enjoy your visit.
I mean, if he's up and about, he's quite active and probably the fastest moving of the two cats. It's just that when he's in lazy mode, you can't do anything to get him to move except put him in front of the food bowl. Yeah, my daughter's picking him up off this cat thing that cat scratcher / tower tree, whatever you want to call it, that we got. And he sort of just digs all the claws in and goes, no, I'm not moving. So she had to turn the top of it around so she could grab him from a different angle to make sure that his front paws disconnected before she could take him to go and eat. Now he's gone and eaten. He's probably only going to eat for about like 30 seconds to a minute. Oh, here he comes. He's licking his chops. He's going to park his butt in the middle of the lounge room floor, lick his bits, put everything on display for everybody because he's a cat. He has no shame. And then eventually he'll climb back up onto his perch, go back to sleep, and that's where he'll be until it's time to go to bed. Unless, of course, the dog comes in, because he likes to lick the dog's ears. Cats.
Gray's Holland is now at maximum.
Mind you, when the cat's licking his ears, he gets this. The dog gets this kind of stoned look on his head. It's like, oh. I don't want to sell. I want to buy. Right, Indium 768. Plot route to bookmark 9.
Displaying map.
I mean, my dog is a Kelpie the size of a small to medium German Shepherd.
Stand by.
He is a big dog. He's also a bit chunky, not massively overweight, just comfortably so. He's very broadly built and stocky built for a Kelpie. We think he's got something else in him. What it is, wouldn't have a clue, but it's there. He thinks he's a lapdog. He weighs 20-something kilos, and he's a lapdog. My wife and I recently got a new mattress for the bed. The bed height is now closer to 4 feet than it is to 2 feet. And the dog kind of looked at me when we put the new mattress on and went, oh, I'm supposed to get up on that. He made it. He likes to lay down next to me and watch YouTube.
Docking plan screen.
My daughter finds some weird stuff on Reddit.
This is the what exists that rich people buy poor people don't even know about.
Frameshift drive charging.
A platinum retrieval.
Clear of the exclusion zone. Till next time, Commander.
Telemetry obtained. Grey's Honor
At the
is
moment, the
traveling
Reddit
to
she's
United
looking at is something like rich people stuff that the rest of us don't even know about.
This is your second visit to this system. There is no human presence.
Hand-carved ice cubes. 50 for $325.
Capacity.
Because they're luxury ice cubes. Hand-carved and perfectly cuboid. Oh, and clear.
2 out of 13 bodies have been scanned.
And therefore will melt less quickly than standard ice cubes. Oh my gosh. Engage FSD.
Charging frameshift drive.
I mean, some of the stuff she finds is quite funny. And there's other stuff that's just, who? And there's some stuff that I can't repeat on any of the channels because I'd get banned.
Telemetry obtained. Grey's Hornet is in transport.
Kind of like one of the guys I like watching on YouTube. They've demonetized him on just about every video that he's ever released because he has, although it's not adult content per se, it's sort of the other side of the line by a millimeter to, or a 32nd of an inch.
10 bodies remain to be scanned.
Alright, let's fix this bookmark up. Yeah, it's not designed for jumping. Though they have taken that to Beagle Point and the member. Somebody had a vulture out there on Distant Worlds 2. All I can say is that you've got to be a sucker for punishment. I mean, there's exploring, and then there's inflicting massive pain upon yourself purely for the sake of saying, yes, I did that. And the group that I travelled with for most of the time of Distant Worlds 2 thought I was nuts for taking a beluga. But at least that thing's got some range. maybe not on a per jump basis, but I could do nearly 1,000 light years without without slowing down to refuel properly. That should be safe to leave as is for the moment. Let's see if I can get Discord starting without everything else dying. Distant Worlds, this is basically a trip to Beagle Point, but they have a different route that they follow each time. Ugh. So approximately 66,000 light years there and back. There is somewhere now further than Beagle Point called, I believe, Salome's Reach, which is only accessible if you've got a jump range in excess of 75 light years, which means that most people need to boost their FSD to get to it. I think that's right. Yeah, well, Warlord and Grumpy are looking at doing a 1 month long trip for the month of November, going out to Colonia and stuff like that. It's worth doing the trip out to Colonia, even if it's just to unlock the engineers and pin new engineering recipes. So basically get them all to grade 5 and then just ignore them. So having unlocked all of the engineers in between 20 and 22,000 light years, depending on where you are in the bubble or Maya, that sort of area. Interdiction in progress. Yeah, we'll evade, thanks. Because I don't want to earn my hard-earned long travel. Sorry, lose my hard-earned cargo. I paid for this. It's different if I got it for free. If you use a Neutron superhighway, you can do it in, I think, about 3 hours in a long-range jumping ship. So that'll be an Anaconda with all the strip downs, etc. When I went out there, I was doing between 2,000 and 3,000 a time, and just took my time to get there. It probably took about 7 or 8 hours. Just because I farted around a lot. I did a lot of exploring. I'm not counting that time. That's just the actual trip. But exploring's a lot easier than it used to be. And you know it's not too far because there were when I went out there originally it was for the Dove Enigma expedition, and the Dove Enigma station that was put into the game was
Gutanaya, Foxtrot, Bravo, Golf. Welcome to the
unknown
station,
artifact
Commander.
bombed or UA bombed.
Commencement docking procedures.
Grace Holland has entered normal space near Orbis Starport, Shaviano Dock.
Fair enough. So have you done much in the way of neutron jumping?
You are not authorized to enter the station. Leave immediately.
Oh, what? I forgot. There you go, reverse my cutter out of the mail slot.
We have been denied docking because we have recently committed an offense against them.
Landing pad 2-5, much better than last time. And even more better than the last time I went into the station.
Landing pad 25 is at 12 o'clock FUB as you enter with the
Because
green
that
lights on your
was an
right.
oops.
High integrity compromised. Taking damage.
Docking complete.
Landing completed. Clear to disembark. Enjoy your stay at our facility, Commander.
Grace Holland is now at 100% fuel capacity.
Alright, take note of the time. .307 UK time. I worked it out, you lose about 1%, 1 to 2% per jump, so you can do 10 to 15 jumps relatively easily and safely. After that, your FSD starts taking quite a bit of damage. And you end up having to repair the bloody thing. That's where the AFMU comes in. I'll be back in a moment.
This facility is undergoing extensive
Displaying map.
No, I'm still here. Just trying to get Discord to start so I can report my delivery of indium. Here it is. I like that.
I am around. All systems ready to go. You're welcome, Commander.
Okay, let's see if this works. Purge delivery data.
Delivery data erased.
Enable IDA.
Operation IDA monitoring active.
Plot route to bookmark 4.
Displaying map.
Yeah, unfortunately the Streamlabs bot gets a little bit, shall we say, annoyed every so often.
Course locked. Leaving map.
Docking coupler disengaged. Your way is cleared for departure.
I don't actually have a problem with it. I'll have to see if there's a setting I can turn off. Being one of those who enjoys telling a story themselves.
Landing gear retracted.
Engage FSD. Okay. Voice text being a bit silly. Somehow Engage FSD became They Confessed Him.
You are now clear of station perimeter. We hope you have a safe journey.
Well, there is that. Engage FSD.
Charging frameshift drive.
Drive charging.
I had one of those bots come in and go, "Oh, I just noticed you're playing Elite Dangerous. That's such a new cool game." And I'm thinking, yeah, 5 years old. "Oh, I'd really like to help you out with this." So I replied and said,
Scanning
"Sure,
now.
you can help me out. I got no money." They didn't come back. Engage FSD.
Frameshift drive engaged.
Charging.
Yeah, wants to see, no, he actually says, "I want to see you a Streamlabs overlay." If I wanted to pay for overlays, I'd pay the $12 a month for Twitch Prime subscription and use the cool animated ones they've got. I'm quite happy with my bog standard, very basic Streamlabs overlay that I did at home. It's got some text and it tells people what's going on.
Scanning.
It's all that really matters. Three-quarter impulse. Three-quarter impulse.
Three-quarter impulse. Engaged.
How many times have I told you not to enunciate? I like Spud Planets. Just out of view.
Gudamaya, Foxtrot Bravo Golf. The Federation welcomes you, Commander. We'd be happy to serve you at this port.
That's what we want, just under the speed limit. Close enough to annoy the coppers, but not so fast that I get a ticket.
Taking damage.
Oh, shut up. We're about to repair it.
Authorization cleared. You are go for approach to pad 2-5. Acknowledged, Commander. Clear for assisted docking. Landing operation complete. Power down your engines. Welcome to the station, Commander.
Hull repaired. Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
Plot route to bookmark 9.
Displaying map.
Landing gear retracted. Hull integrity compromised.
Course locked. Stand by. Closing map.
Clear the area and jump.
Boost activated. Distancing now.
Frameshift drive charging.
Preparing for jump.
Gotta love it when it works right. Thank you.
Vectors. Scanning for information.
Engage FSD.
Engaging drive.
Drive charging.
Scanning.
Crew command roster. Crewman Doris, you're in charge.
Aye, Commander.
You're number one.
Of course, Commander.
That is all.
Thank you, Commander.
I spy with my little eye something beginning with G.
Right. G. And no, I am not complimenting your gaming prowess.
I spy with my little eye something beginning with Q.
Q. Really? A quat on the cosmic face of the galaxy. Go look it up.
Pick a letter, I'll see if we can stump her. I spy with my little eye something beginning with P.
Okay. That's easy. Python at 6 o'clock. If it interdicts us, it was nice knowing you.
That's probably the next one, that or Vasco, that I'll be getting. I like the fact that it abuses you for telling him to put it in frameshift drive. Or it'll start the FSD countdown and then go, no, I've changed my mind, we're not going.
I'd like to say it was a pleasure, but my morality subroutine prevents me from lying.
Douglas Adams quote. Douglas Adams quote.
A common mistake that people make when trying to design something completely foolproof is to underestimate the ingenuity of complete fools. Douglas Adams, mostly harmless.
Just that bit there and the I Spy is why I like Doris. Thank you, Doris. Thank you.
I'd like to say it was a pleasure, but my morality subroutine prevents me from lying.
It's all pre-programmed, unfortunately. But there is the possibility of adding more to it. In the actual voice responses, it gives you a list of the ones that they use, and Somebody told me that you can actually add your own personalised comments, but it won't read them out in that voice. It'll do it in a computer-generated voice. Again, right at the end. Certainly not going to give in to an introduction by a 1950s throwback design. Maybe he wants too much money. I reckon they should do an Aussie one. Or a Yamix one. Definitely not a PG-13 rating on that one though. Have you ever watched his review on the Asp Scout? I spy with my little eye something beginning with P. Yeah, that'd be it. And it'll probably do this too. Oh wait,
Fine,
I can't see it.
Suit yourself. It's your funeral. Literally, with any luck. P is for plunger time. For me, not you. So go find something better to do.
It was like everybody used to bag out the Orca, so I started flying one, and then I found the videos by Mars in Europe. Ghost Giraffe. Sorry, Mars Europe and...
Foxtrot, Bravo, Golf. It's good to have you with us. Welcome to the station, Commander.
mental blank. Yeah, for most letters, there's 3 or 4 responses.
Restrictions in this area.
X seems to be heavily weighted to something along the lines of, really? X again? post-delivery data.
Delivery posted to Operation IDA.
Plot route to bookmark 4.
Displaying map. Locking next star system. Leaving map.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just see if I can disable link moderation. It won't be a sec.
All clear. Goodbye, Commander.
There we go. I'll just bring it up now. You'll probably hear it through my desktop audio.
Do you want to learn to draw professional and impressive artwork from scratch that will blow people's minds?
Okay, the music style is most definitely Elite Dangerous. Skip forward to 350. Highly distorted, but it could be Rexler. I like that bit of music. Oh my god, there is so much. It's alright, reading up on Raxler and it does your head in. There's so much tinfoil hat stuff. I lose myself in it. Okay, forget Raxler. Raxler is bad. Sorry. No, look, it's all good. I tend to lose myself in conspiracy theories. I love them. Conspiracy theories to me are just another way of doing thought experiments. It keeps the mind agile when you've got to think of different meanings for things that, yeah.
Completing system scan.
I used to play a card game called Illuminati. I don't know if they still make it. I haven't looked it up for a while. But you had things like the Boy Scouts were in charge of McDonald's, which was actually the controlling interest in NASA. And the reason for the space race was mind control to stop the Girl Scouts from selling cookies.
Vectors.
And of course it got a lot more complex and a lot more adult oriented than that, but that was one of the ones that sort of sticks out in your mind.
Scanning for information.
It was a collectible card game before collectible card games became fashionable. And it included things like the ancient alien theory and all that sort of jazz. I mean, I find ancient alien theory interesting. That's not saying I believe it, but there's some things that are not so easily described by modern archaeology. Now, there are others that are pretty obviously made by us. Size of regular cards. Maybe a little larger. The best thing about the game was that you could add your own house rules and it was really easy to do so. As long as they were agreed upon prior to the start. If I remember rightly, in the rulebook they gave you a series of 5 or 6 changes that many people thought made the game more interesting.
4,000 meters from touchdown.
From memory, it was made by Steve Jackson Games.
Okay, Commander. Proceed to landing pad.
But I'm not 100% sure on that.
You are go for automated
I am
docking.
talking
Enjoy the ride, Commander.
25 to 30 years ago I was playing it.
Landing operation complete. You may disembark when ready. You're all checked in, Commander. Enjoy your visit.
tier 7, I'm still in the top 50%, and I only did, I think, about, yeah, five and a bit thousand tons. Yeah, definitely. It wasn't based on anything else. It was just, I mean, another one we used to play was called Weed, which was basically you had a deck of cards, I think it was 104 of them, and they all had things to do with marijuana. Came in a Hessian bag that was supposed to have been made out of hemp, but obviously it wasn't legal in certain places. Anyway, so you had this game called, grass, not weed, and you basically had to grow it. That was the game, was to grow your own stuff and basically wipe the other players out by growing more than they did. Plot route to bookmark 9.
Detach is good. Regulate speed until outside the exclusion zone.
Plot route to bookmark 9. Yeah, it's back when most games were created not with a series in mind, but with enticing gameplay.
Locking system destination.
Keep people interested and they'll buy more versions of your game, rather than get people to watch a cartoon series or drink a particular type of beer. Clear the area and jump.
Warning. Access to this station is by authorization only, Commander. Exit this facility immediately.
Frameshift drive charging.
Yep. Well, I played Magic the Gathering when it was still in beta. I didn't have alpha, but I did have beta.
You're all clear. Have a safe trip.
Little did I know how much some of the cards I had were worth. But I gave the majority of my cards away when I stopped playing it, when they introduced phasing.
Scanning now.
Deploy heatsink. Engage FSD.
Deploying heatsink. Frameshift activated.
Drive charging.
Yeah, Mirage. That was the one I got out of. So I played Ice Age, which was the season before that. Mirage, they went from icy to tropical. I just did not like the phasing mechanic, it annoyed me.
Scanning.
Engage FSD. Oh, hang on. Don't need to do that.
Interstellar travel mode engaging now.
I used to play a green-red deck, and I used to play a black-white deck, and also a black-white-red deck. My green-red was a Weenie Hordes deck that by the end of turn 4 or 5 I could have like 12 or 13 creatures out at once. And then I'd put down a Keldon Warlord and suddenly I've got a 13/13 creature on turn 4 or 5. A mate of mine used to play a blue mind control stasis deck. So it was blue with a touch of green and white. And he had so many rare cards, it was insane. I think the difference is with the CCGs, at least back then, was you knew what rarity of cards you were going to get. You may not know exactly what card, but you knew what rarity it was going to be. Whereas with the loot boxes, oh, you've got a 2% chance of getting something really rare or epic if you buy this box. It used to be if you bought a starter deck, you'd have, it was 60 cards total, 20 of which would be basic lands, mixtures thereof. Of the rest of your cards, it'd be 32 normal, 4 uncommon, 2 rare, 6 uncommon and 2 rare. So that was your 60. Yeah, so at least you know you're going to get a card that's worth something. I mean, there is a chance in your commons that you might get uncommons or rares in that lot. But at least you're guaranteed of getting those few uncommon and rare cards in every box. The big thing I don't like about Magic the Gathering now is that they're selling you pre-made decks. I want to build my own stuff. And if I want to buy a booster, I want to buy a booster that could be used with any deck that I've got, not a booster that's specific to the one colour of deck or 2 colours of the deck that I bought as a collector. You just got to buy so many different cards now. Sorry, packs of cards. And when my first tournament, there was one guy who was playing a Channel Fireball deck because Channel Fireball had not yet been made an illegal card. We had another guy that had a Chaos Orb. And he used to carry around a Star Trek CCG card with him because it said you could bring. Oh no, sorry, it's not Star Trek. Not Chaos Orb. There was another one. You could bring any card from your collection into the game. Right? It didn't say that that card had to be a Magic the Gathering card. That was implied, but it wasn't stated. So he would pull out a Star Trek card whatever it was, and it was a 25-20 for the cost of 1 white plus 1. Oh, that was the other thing we used to have in competition, was you had to ante up one of your cards. Yeah, you could have an agreement that if the cards were massively dissimilar values, that you wouldn't have to hand it over if you lost, but that had to be reached prior to the game beginning. I can remember a couple of times having one of my Shivan Dragons, because my red-green deck had 5 of them in it. Yeah, I can remember more than once having the Shivan Dragon come out, and the other guy, and out of the other guy's deck, I've pulled a land. And it's like, well, I'm willing to forfeit and keep my card unless you want to play.
Targeting highest threat.
It's an Asp Explorer, I'll let him survive. The raid he's doing is actually doing better at interdicting me than the Fer-de-Lance was. I only did a couple of tournaments that were outside of the gaming group that I was playing. I used to be a member of MidSoc in Sydney, the Murder Incorporated Dungeons and Dragons Society. The Asp Explorer is like the Cobra Mark III, basically. They're both excellent ships for multi-purpose. People say the Python's next. I just don't like the view from the Python, but I can see where they're coming from. I mean, the Asp X was my first combat ship. It might only have little guns, but it's got lots of them. You're sitting on the left and you've got these big chunky metal bars in your view, and they're just annoying.
Gutenaya, Foxtrot, Bravo, Golf. Good to see you, Commander. Throttle down and commence with docking.
Yeah, torpedo builds can be really good, but they're sort of a one-shot pony, almost literally. You shoot once and that's it. post-delivery data. Post-delivery data. Third time lucky. Post-delivery data. Post-delivery data. Oh, come on. A confidence level of 65 out of 65 and it says no. Post-delivery data. Post-delivery data.
Delivery posted to Operation IDA.
Alrighty, that's going to do me for now. I'll probably be back on in 2 to 3 hours time, depending on when we have dinner. Thank you very much for joining me and for the chat. I hope you enjoyed the stream, and I shall talk to you later. And alright, see you later.